Black Clover Chapter 256, the official release, is finally out, and this is one of those chapters where I had to read a good 7 to 8 more times before I made this video. Excessive, I know, but this is coming from a guy who read the entirety of Black Clover about a good 10 plus times. I did it for research purposes, don't judge me. However, for this particular chapter, this chapter to me was probably one of my favorites in quite a long time, and there's much to discuss. So, let's dive in deep into this chapter breakdown. For starters, I wanted to discuss Dante's devil design when he went 80%, and I noticed that it has 2 extra wings. Maybe this is due to the fact that he is possessed by a demon king, Lucifero, because he's the only devil-possessed user that we've seen that have 2 extra wings. Also, we noticed that in the Fizz translations, it's much clearer that now we can see the symbol of gravity that's also on his hands. Instead of just on his chest, we can see it on his hands now. It was hard to notice during the fan translation because the words were covering it and it was darker. And one thing we noticed that Dante's symbols start to glow once he starts healing, so we know that that's going to play a part in next chapter. Now, this panel right here was probably one of the most, if not the most important dialogue that happened in this chapter. Dante mentioned that they cannot fully access 100% of their powers unless the door is open to the underworld. He also mentioned that their powers exchange between this world and the underworld, although he's not quite sure how Asta and his anti-magic devil powers operate. So this may mean that the devil powers that the Dark Triad are using may not necessarily come from the grimoires. Just like how Asta's devil is inside his grimoire because he has a 5-leaf clover, which was explained to us in the very beginning of the series that a devil only resides in a 5-leaf clover grimoire, which means that since the Spade Kingdom don't have clovers and they have spade grimoires, the power and the way it operates may be a little different than Asta, and that's probably why they have curse marks, because it's the signs of their contract. Just like how Dorothy mentioned in chapter 222, unless there is some sort of anomaly, devils cannot appear in our world. Mages can use forbidden magic, contract with them by paying some sort of price, and can use their power in a limited way, but that's about it. So what Dorothy explained in chapter 222, that's what I believe what is happening with the Dark Triad. So does that hint at the fact that Asta, he is an anomaly? Does he has the power to go full 100%? That opens the door for a big video that I will do this week. I do love Dante's new spell, Gravity Magic, Gravity Singularity, because it makes a lot of sense why he created a black hole, because a black hole itself is a region of space and time where the gravity is so strong that nothing, not even particles or electromagnetic radiation such as light, can escape from it unless you're Yami. That is why Yami's black hole spell was such a hard counter for Patri, because Patri has light magic, and light magic cannot escape from a black hole. And Yami's Black Moon spell is an enhanced version of that black hole, and that's why it is able to absorb and erase all the magic that's around his area. So both of these black hole spells are very powerful for Dante and Yami. In this chapter, in a way, is kind of asking the question, who has the strongest one, Yami or Dante's? And I must say that Dante's probably is the most versatile one and most destructive, because when he used his, he can just move it around however he pleases, and launching that attack, it destroys and vanishes everything around the area. So we've seen it destroy a mountain, and that is very powerful. That's a strong feat by Dante. And it was so strong by creating this vortex around him that Yami's Dark Dimension Slash had no effect. It twisted his spell and made him miss. And we know that Yami's Dark Dimension Slash is a signature move, so making Yami miss that powerful spell, or in Dante's case, disrupting the spell completely, it shows you the great power of his Gravity Singularity spell. And this shocked Yami completely because this is his spell that always gets the job done. So seeing this powerful spell be completely useless to Dante, it was quite surprising. But I believe this was Tabate's way of demonstrating the true power of 80% Dante. And from that point on, after seeing the devastating power of Dante's spell, Yami knew that he had to get in close, despite the fact that his black hole spell will also cancel out Dante's. Both of them will be vulnerable if they both cancel each other out. This is why Dante played more of a long-range style while fighting Yami, because he knew Yami was trying to get in close and knew that if they get in close, his gravity spell will be completely useless. He started creating rock just so Yami wouldn't get in his way, while proceeding to use his Gravity Singularity spell to suck in Yami, because that is pretty much what black holes do. But in mid-air, Yami was evading that and also deflecting the rocks, so he had his hand full while trying to dodge everything while still in mid-air, We did see in this panel that it grazed Yami just a little bit while he was trying to dodge it. So just imagine if that touched Yami just a little bit more, that whole side of his body would have been gone. Dante did state in the beginning of this fight that maybe he should break a leg or take an arm or so he is trying to break down his body or take some ligaments or so, but he's not trying to kill Yami. And yes, I know I said so less than 2 seconds 2 times in 1 sentence. Like I said earlier, don't judge me. So, anyways, Dante did manage to pin down Yami by the rock that he created, thinking that the fight would be over and think that Yami would not be able to get up, but underestimating the power of someone who has a 5 out of 5 of surpassing limits. According to the Black Clover guidebook, that Yami broke out of it and was still ready to continue on the fight. Now, I mentioned this in my review, but I believe this was the best moment. This was the highlight for me that happened in this chapter, because he stands up in this cool samurai stance with the black moon still over his head, and he said, "Surpassing my limits right here, right now. I'll be a lousy captain if I don't surpass my limits in front of my comrades, my members right here." And he has this crazy smile with blood dripping down his face while saying this in everyone's face, even Dante's. But Asta, Fenrir, Vanessa, and Gray, they all look stunned. They are shocked that Yami is still ready to fight. This is a "you thought" type beat from Yami, because I know Dante thought that he wanted to fight, saying that you are an interesting human. Yami shook a hero, ready to pack his bags, take his arcane stage mages, and do his plan of Triad death, but nah, that didn't happen. But Dante, he starts smiling and laughing as well, saying that magnificent, but there's no way you can defeat me. And Yami uses a condensed spell, a condensed monozone spell, and he states that he will super condense it even further. Now, this monozone spell, we gotta talk about monozones very soon on the channel, because Yami is showing us a advanced level of monozone, and I cannot wait in the anime. Once they do the training arc, we can see what training that Yami actually put in, because where did he learn this from? Who did he train with? And I'm pretty sure that there are other captains that also has an advanced state of monozone as well. And it lets us know that there is levels to this, and monozone is a complicated spell for a lot of anime watchers or manga readers to understand, so explain videos on monozone are coming soon. And we see that this condensed monozone spell, or super condensed monozone spell that Yami used, it created dark magic death thrust. And it's very edgy, you know, it's similar to how Jack, he uses death slice. So it makes sense why these two get along so well. They are very similar with the names of their spells. But I love this spell because it completely destroyed Dante's entire torso. Even though we know that he's going to heal from this, because I do believe that the fight isn't over, because we see that the symbol of gravity that is on Dante's head, and we know that it glows once he starts using his flesh magic, and that is the headcanon term for now, since we don't know the exact same term for his second attribute. And what's amazing about this spell is that Yami mentioned that he was going for a thrust, and it came out like a cannon. So he really didn't mean to dismantle Dante in this sort of way, but it works. So I guess this spell should be called Death Cannon, but I guess Death Thrust works for the meme. But the way this chapter ended, it does make me very excited to see what's going to happen next, because this was a cliffhanger 101 by Tabata. We know that what's going to happen next, or this could just be a huge twist next chapter. You never know. But I think a lot of people are speculating that maybe Asta will get back up, but I believe that Asta is done. He's not getting back up. I think that all the devil power he used strained his body. I think he's done at this point. It exhausts him. But it would be nice to see Asta try to attempt to get up, but I don't think that he will. But overall, I do believe this was a solid and fun chapter. This was definitely my favorite chapter in the past few months. My chapter was, you know, the Noelle when she went mermaid mode and fought Vanica. That was awesome to see, but I think this chapter tops it. But comment below and tell me your thoughts about this. What were your favorite moments about this chapter? Leave that in the comment section below as well. And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe with notification bells on. We're just about halfway to 12K, so let's get there together. Join my Discord server, link is in the description. Follow me on Twitter, that's in the description as well. Again, like, subscribe. You guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out.